So you came tonight to find out what is awakening coaching, is that right? Yes? That's the question I can answer tonight, is that why you came? Yes. More or less, okay. So, let's understand first of all the vocabulary, what these words mean. Hey, hi. What these words mean, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the skills that are required in order to be able to do this kind of coaching effectively. What kind of person becomes an excellent awakening coach, and what kind of clientele they work with. So let's first understand the words, what they mean. Awakening. What is awakening? Every day you experience awakening, don't you? Right? In the morning, after sleeping, you experience awakening. So what does it mean? In that context, what does awakening mean?
Be present.
Yeah, you shift from being unconscious or hallucinating, something that's not really there but being made up only in your dreaming. You shift from dreaming or unconsciousness to being present, to being here. So everybody experiences that. In a 24-hour cycle, you experience an awakening. But we also use the term awakening in other ways. Just in ordinary life, before we get too esoteric, in ordinary life, we experience awakening all the time. Every time you shift in your day-to-day life from relative unconsciousness or relative dreaming to relatively being more present, you would say that is also a kind of awakening. Isn't it true? So, for example, if you have an unconscious assumption of limitation, something you think you can't do. I could never be a public speaker. That could be a belief that runs your life and limits what you're willing to try. Or maybe you go to a party and you have an unconscious assumption in your mind, I could never talk to her, or to him, depending on your preference. So these kind of assumptions actually are very common in life. Unconscious assumptions about what we can and can't do, about what is possible in our environment. We'll never have peace in the world. We'll never have economic equality. Unconscious assumptions. All of us, all of the time, we go through quantum shifts in evolution. As students, in relationship, as leaders, we go through quantum shifts where we reach a stage in our life where one of these unconscious assumptions becomes limiting, constraining. We can't bear it anymore, to the point that we examine it. This could be a very painful and turbulent process, but we examine an assumption, we realize it's not true, and we burst free of that limitation, and then realize that more was possible than was contained within the unconscious assumption. How many people have had an experience like that? Okay. How many people have had an experience like that today? Okay. So, this is also a kind of awakening. We also use the word awakening in that way, don't we? You say, I woke up. Sometimes people experience they've been in an unhappy relationship. You've been living with somebody or dating somebody for a period of time, and it was not working out, your needs weren't met, and suddenly, after months, you realize, I don't have to do this. I don't have to live in this unhappy way. And maybe you end the relationship, or you tell your partner what your real needs are. And people in a situation like that, they say, it's like I woke up from a dream. You have that experience? It's like, what have I been doing? You wake up from a dream and suddenly you realize none of this was necessary. These are all relative awakenings. Relative awakenings from the unconscious assumptions we create in thinking. Does this also happen in Norway, or is it just like an American thing? Okay. California thing. Okay. We are discovering more and more in all different parts of the world, in all different contexts, we are discovering also the possibility of what we could call an ultimate degree of awakening. Many people in different walks of life are discovering the possibility of an ultimate kind of awakening, at least in snapshots, which means it may not be sustained for 24 hours, but at least in moments. We are recognizing the possibility to not just be free of a particular assumption or belief, but at least in snapshots we're discovering what it's like to be free of all belief, to experience reality nakedly, which means to be here in this moment without the interference of thought at all. Now, what does that mean?